The yellow level, yeah.
Hmm?
The yellow level.
Yellow is the sun. That's why it's representing the yellow and the importance of the color.
What is the Imiya? Is it Imiya? I-M-I-Y-A? On the just
Ilmiya. Ilmiya is knowledge in Arabic. Ilm represents the station of Ilmiya, which is the knowledge. Qalb with the Q for Qaf, like Quran, not a G. So it's a Q because it's symbolic of the Qaf of Quran. So it's holding that secret of heavenly knowledge that is empowering the soul. The sense is hearing. If you look at the diagram, you have a center point and the outer point. With each of these faculties of our five senses, you have a physical hearing and you have a spiritual hearing. And each of these make a box. So from the physical level, there's an inner box, and from the spiritual, there's a heavenly box, which is the Kaaba. You have the Kaaba of earth, because physical senses, so you make the circumambulation, and you have the Kaaba of heavens, which you make through the power of your soul. And the Kaaba representing the secret of the heart. That's why you're circumambulating that reality. Qalb, that goes into different understandings on the Arabic huruf. That the divine is showing us that that power is in the heart. The divine essence of what we're seeking is directed to the heart. So our whole focus is on that heart that will take us back to that reality. The blue around is showing us the ocean of power. When we move through these five senses and move through this reality, we start to enter the ocean of annihilation. The annihilation in Bahr al-Qudra, which is the ocean of blue. The blue represents what we say the ocean of power, Bahr al-Qudra. You've entered into the ocean of annihilation. So 5, 6 is the annihilation, and 7 is Baqi. Allah, the people who have been resurrected after their death. You've been annihilated, flatlined, and the divine raises you back up from divine presence. That would be 7. So what we cover are the 5 levels of the heart, then it goes 6 is to be annihilated, and 7 to be resurrected in divine presence.
Is that like Jesus alayhi salam? Number 7 is what happened to Jesus alayhi salam?
Yeah, that's different. So Isa is going to be teaching at the Khafa reality. But all the Awliya, they reach a state where their heart stops. And they can stop, Mawlana Shaykh can stop his heartbeat and move. They can reverse the contract. In dunya you have a contract where your body governs your soul. With spiritual practice and all of their annihilation and all of their training, they can stop their heartbeat. As soon as they stop their heartbeat, they're at a state of death and their soul can come out. If the soul can come out, it can take the body and move through the world of light. So that's tremendous power. That's why they have irshad and guidance. That's why when we say Shaykh for them, it's completely different reality. And when we're calling ourselves as teachers and friends Shaykh, the real Shaykhs, they are able to stop their beat at any moment and bring out their soul, and their soul can take their physicality and move. Or they can sit in an association and send their soul in its wave and look to you still as a particle, because it's the world of light and has no limitations. So it has tremendous realities and openings and understandings. But the first level of understanding is to hear, and then to hear from the physical, but then to hear from the spiritual, and then opening up that understanding and opening up that power. This opens then the secret of the heart, the Kaaba, and all of its understandings. Why the Divine wants us to go to the Kaaba. And why are you circumambulating at the Kaaba? The Divine is showing at this level, you must circumambulate the light. All of your existence, the most important existence you have is your light form. Everything in our life perishes. Every tree perishes. Every house is destroyed. Every person is buried. But look around you, the only thing that's eternal and has always been here through all of the messengers of God, whether you say it was 7,000 years or 700,000 years or at the time of dinosaurs, is the sun. The same sun. Means it's showing us it's been eternally there. That face on the sun has always been there, has seen us come and go. Divine is showing you the only thing eternal in your existence is the light. It's the same sun that has always been. Because of that, you have to respect the sun. You have to respect light. So these 11 planets, they make tawaf around the sun. Shamsi wal Qamar. Allah says Shams. The importance is the sun. And all the planets make circumambulation around the sun. So when you see the Hubble spacecraft, they show you the galaxy, they show you all these planets, all of them are spinning around always a center, which is a sun. And different powers of suns. They have a regular sun, pistol sun, they have different types of stars with different types of power, but always the center is a star, is a source of light. And everything must make circumambulation around the source of light. So what sun do we have? And what Allah is showing you is the Kaaba. That all of creation forms a circle and must go around the Kaaba. And then the spiritual teaching of why around the Kaaba, because the Kaaba represents your heart. That you have to make circumambulation around your heart. Because it's the only place you'll find God, on heavens and earth, except the heart of my believer. So everything in our existence is in the importance of bringing the heart and bringing the light of God onto the heart. You have to circumambulate and make tawaf around the heart. Means all the body has to follow the inspiration of the heart. Not the mind, not the belly, not the liver, but everything has to be in submission to the power of the heart. Then when we understand that, we understand the reality of the Kaaba. The Divine is showing us that reality, that you come and stand on a circumference and the center is one. And everybody is making that turn around that oneness, and everybody is connected by that radius, and that becomes the importance of the heart. That's why the secret is on the heart. That's why the first level is to move towards the Qalb and open that power of the heart. The next level that you're moving towards is Noah and red. Once we accept the knowledge, accept the power of hearing, we're asking for the reality of seeing. means we want to operate now from the power of the soul. That the physical seeing is a complete illusion. It's a ball of flesh in a socket sending signals to a brain that's in the dark. So the brain has never seen the light. It's just a server. And the images that are reflected because of the sun's photons, little electrical particles that are popping down, our eye picks up that signal and sends a signal to the main server, and an image pops up. It's a complete illusion. The brain is never in the light, has never seen the light. And what these eyeballs are making up, based on our experiences, based on what people have told us to believe, based on what's been basically programmed in our physicality, those are not the eyes of reality. So then the Divine is teaching us, your eyes are but an illusion, and what you see is not real. So then old Sufis, they would take a ball of fire and spin. And when they would spin it, it would give the illusion of a circle. They were teaching us sort of physics. So all of physics now is coming and saying that everything is an illusion. This earth is nothing. It's just spinning like a hologram so fast, at any point you touch it, it feels solid, but it's not solid. These are atoms that are moving so fast that if you touch it like a fan that's going, if you touch it, you feel that it's hard. But this is not solid. These are all atoms moving. If Allah stops its movement and stops its zikr, everything collapses. And at the end you find its mass to be nothing. Minuscule. But it has an image of something huge because of the hologram. So everything, giving you an image of everything. This is the first understanding towards the breakdown, the annihilation. When you realize this wood, that sofa, that building, the trees, all of them are atoms. Me and you, atoms. From 92 naturally reoccurring atoms. Everything made up. You mix a few of them, you have wood. You mix another group, you have humans. You mix another group, you have trees. Everything is hype. What's making that atom to move? It's not connected to any energy. There's no electrical circuit connected. So it starts to break down the reality of hype. Everything. This is chanting by divine power and keeping its form. That's why then old mystics were teaching you that if you walk out in nature, you find that to be a better believer than ourselves. Because the tree is given a zikr, it's given a chant, to keep its form as a tree. And the tree may want to change and say, I don't want to stand up anymore, but it's in complete submission. You stand. You do your chant, you're a tree. You cannot change to be a couch unless they cut you up and put you on the couch. But it submits. And it submits to the fact where it even allows you to cut it up. Why? Because for the greatness of Adam, at your first level of the form, God said that everything on this earth is for this Adam and Eve and what they want. So all this creation is submitting. It stands as a tree in complete chant. It's alive. The ant, the tree, everything is alive. And you want to come and cut it down. You cut it and you can burn it. It screams, but you don't hear it. But completely submits and emits for you your warmth. Because it's submitting. So then the saints are coming and teaching that. That's submission. That no matter what happens, for the love of Allah, it stays and continues its chant. And emits peacefulness. You burn the tree, it gives you warmth. You didn't burn it and it burned you back. Because most of us, we get burned, we burn people back. No, the Shaykh teaches you when you get beaten, give your fruits. Like a tree. That somebody comes and hits you, give them apples. Don't give back a big branch on their head and hit them. That goes back to the fire. Nature is trying to teach us that no matter what you do to us, we give you benefit. You throw us on that hot charcoal, the bukhur. It's scared to death. He comes again. He's going to put us on that hot charcoal. And the Divine shows you that, watch. When you put him on the charcoal, all he does is emit a fragrance. And he's happy in service to his Lord, no matter what happens. And it opens that reality of submission, that everything around us is alive. So saints were walking and very careful of everything. Never cutting down a tree without having to need to cut it. Not just for sort of sport, going and killing and chopping and burning. Everything is alive in its chant and in its resonance. Under the secret of Hayy,